I got to visit other places in Hungary that had no tourists, I spent the majority of my time in the city of Budapest. Not Budapest, Budapest. It's a city filled with beautiful architecture, amazing nightlife, delicious food, a ton of history, and so much more. So without further ado, in no particular order, here's a list of things that you can do in Budapest. First is you want to check out historic sites. As I mentioned, this place is filled with a lot of history. The Hungarians were quite the innovators. They invented the ball pen, the low-level laser therapy, the Rubik's Cube, and the electric motor, just to name a few. Unfortunately, not all are positive. The shoes on the Danube bank is a memorial site to honor the Jewish men, women, and children that were killed during the Second World War. I remember coming here when the sun was going down to pay respects, and there was a heavy feeling, but also a sense of peace as I walked down the bank. It was a feeling that I can't really explain. I highly recommend taking a moment here and to just soak in whatever experience it brings you. The statues in Hero Square and visiting the Hungarian National Museum are also worth checking out. Next is to visit the thermal baths. I would say that this is probably the #1 thing to do in Budapest. It's a must. There are several thermal baths in the city, but my top recommendations would be the Széchenyi thermal bath or the Gellert thermal bath. Széchenyi is the biggest natural hot spring bath in Budapest, in fact in all of Europe. This is a popular spot that is over 100 years old. There are a total of 18 geothermal pools both inside and outside. Aside from this, you could also get in a sauna, get a massage, and just have a drink by the pool. Fisherman's Bastion is a beautiful castle that offers amazing views of the city. This place gets really packed throughout the day. I can say that it's worth waking up early and catching the sunrise here while having the castle all to yourself. Another castle worth mentioning, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, is the Vastehonyad Castle. In case you didn't know, the city is split by the Danube River. One side is called Buda and the other is called Pest. There's a lot of history and stories behind the two, but nonetheless, both are linked by several bridges, each having a story of its own. And the last and final thing to do is to admire the architecture. The buildings are impressive, photogenic, and worth the time standing right in front of it for you to admire. Personally, I enjoy taking the photos of the sites in Budapest as they are something I've never seen before, nor were they something I expected. The Hungarian Parliament building is a great example. Parliament buildings are typically proper, so to speak, in terms of their structure. Not to say that this Parliament building is not proper, it's just very unique in its own way by having a Gothic look to it. The ruined pubs are also great examples. There are quite a few abandoned places within the city that were turned into well-decorated, cool-looking bars. Budapest is known for its nightlife, so feel free to visit several places after a day of adventuring in the city. Moving on to more impressive buildings, St. Stephen's Basilica, one of the most well-known churches in the city, and also there's Matthias Church, another church that you must see in the city. Two of these buildings are beautiful inside and out. Well, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.